Do you think it's better for a relationship when a man leads or when a woman leads?
I think that's situational. I think you can take lead at different points.
What do you say?
In our relationship, it's when a woman leads. For me, I have a strong personality. I'm very decisive. I know what I want, more organized in my thinking. But he leads in other ways. It's a compromise, give and take.
What did I just watch? Is that not the most beta male that I've ever seen in my entire life? Listen. God ordained it and God said it to where men are supposed to lead. When I see guys that then defer to their woman, even to the extent of asking their woman if they can go somewhere, it's wild to me. Now, that don't mean that you have to be an ultimate chauvinist and that, you don't take into consideration what your family do. That's also being a man, and that you being situationally aware of what your children need, what your wife needs, so on and so forth. But ultimately, the decisions go up, not down. And any person that's in a relationship that even refers to it as a partnership is disrespectful from both perspectives, on the man's part and the woman's part. And when I see guys like that look to their woman to even speak to him, and she's looking at him like a child, and it gives off a lot of red flags. And either one of three situations happen. Either he messed up and so he's trying to get back right, which I don't think that's what it is, or she's used to bossing him around, or last but not least, the situation is a combination of both, right? And that eventually he'll break out. Hopefully he'll break out. If not, then it just is what it is. But what this looks like is a classic case of a woman that's bullying a guy, and she probably makes more than him, and so he's subjecting herself to her will and bending himself to her will as a result of it. I could never be in a situation where a woman is telling me or saying that he leads in other ways. In what way? In a way in which she let him lead inside of the bedroom or something like that? I'm never dealing with a boss chick, and I would suggest that you guys don't also. I know that they say every relationship is different, and I largely agree with the sentiment that every relationship is different, but it should be nuanced, and that different should mean situational with regard to, your financial economic status and where y'all are, or how many kids you have, or so on and so forth. But I'm never going to be in a situation where a woman is saying that she leads, she's more organized, she does this, she does that. I bet you she handles the money. I bet you she also determines what it is that he can and can't buy. He probably is on an allowance. If he doesn't go to work for that day and he wants to stay in, she probably tells him, to get up and go to work and all of that. And I don't think that any guy should ever be in a position to where the woman is in charge of him. Two things is wrong with the situation. A, you got to man up. And when I say man up, you got to put your big boy pants on. And this is why you never go into a situation under duress, right? You got to make sure that you never move into her house. You got to make sure that you're never depending on her in order for y'all to survive. Now, that don't mean that she can't work, but then it changes the power structure within a relationship, because now she can't emasculate you. Now she can't be in a situation where she'll say, well, get out of my house if you don't like it, or something like that, right? I'm never going to put myself in that position, and I would never suggest that any guy put himself in that position. So that's number one. Number two, never, ever deal with a woman that ever describes a relationship as a partnership, or she says that she's the leader in any way, shape, or form. That is one of the biggest red flags ever, because she's going to control the entirety of the relationship, which that's not good for anything. It's not good for the children that y'all probably gonna have. It's not gonna be good for what it is that you see as far as you leading her with your vision. And that's the thing that people don't understand. Men and women are inherently different. We're built different. We're built to do things different. We're built to operate different, right? We're not supposed to be equal. We can be equal in our humanity in that, we take into consideration what the other person is going through, or, you don't ever want to see somebody under duress, but we're not equal. And I don't know where this came from. I don't know who instituted it. I don't know who first got the idea that we should be looked at as equal. I don't even know how y'all label y'all relationships as partnerships. That is wild to me. It's not. I'm the man, you're the woman. I'm the husband, you're the wife. I'm the groom, you're the bride. And so it's a very clear distinction to me. And so every single situation that I'm in, whether it's in, me as an employer, or me in a relationship, I'm always going to be deferred to from a leadership perspective. Now, I can give you some responsibilities, right, in which you don't have to defer to me. Like, I'm not going to hoard over you. I don't look at you as a child, right? So I am looking for you to be able to take care of the things that I've assigned for you to do. I am looking for you to be able to be a great mother. I am looking for you to be able to do, take care of the business side of certain things that I'm empowering you with. But ultimately, if you're not sure, you come to me and you usually like, hey, I'm kind of on the fence about this. What do you think about this? So on and so forth. And it's not a demeaning thing for you to humble yourself and submit to me. But when we talking about leadership and, if it's better for a relationship when a man leads or the woman leads, maybe I'm just old school. Maybe it's just a clear distinction for me. And it's funny because I look at some of these other people that react or comment to me, and they think that I'm some form of a chauvinist, when in reality, women like having a leader over them and not having to take the reins and not being required to go out here and compete with other men and not being all of that other type of stuff. That don't seem like a healthy relationship to me. He don't seem happy. He looked like he got a painted smile on his face. She's making sure that he's answering the right way. If I'm him, I don't even want to have a conversation. I don't even want to expose myself in that way. I am completely divesting myself from that because it's wild. He has to hold, the body language on the video is him holding her hand the entire time while he's answering it. He's not even looking the interviewer in the eye. He keeps looking at her back and forth in order to answer the conversation or the situation. And she's not even, in my opinion, dope enough for that. Honestly, from the look of it, I thought it was going to be the other way around. I thought he was going to be super masculine. And this is why you can't judge a book by its cover. I thought he was going to be operating super masculine. She wasn't going to be talking. He was going to 100% take control of it. At least pretend like you're masculine, big dog. But I guess things are different. We live in an environment where just because you got aviator shades on and you got, ripped jeans, it don't necessarily mean that you're controlling a relationship. Next thing you know, they're going to be dressing alike. They're going to be having track suits on. And he's probably going to be the one holding the puppy in the family picture during the Christmas photo. I can't do it. Listen, I'm curious as to what you guys think. Do you think that there are situations where women can ultimately lead within a relationship? Or do you think that you're always supposed to operate within your masculinity? You never lose focus, you never lose frame, and you always are going to be in a leadership position. I'm curious as to what y'all think. Let me know in the comments. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Get that Teach Hanley, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. If you do not have the Teach pack, then you are absolutely disgusting me. I am back in Detroit. We taking care of business. We running it up, and we all about that money, man. We about that money, and we also about making sure that we never in a position under duress to where we got to subject ourselves to the will of a woman. And women, it's okay to be led and to be submitting to your man. And if you don't find a man that you can submit to, then you're talking to the wrong people. You need to level up so you can attract a better selection of people, because you are who you attract. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I'm gonna talk to you later. Peace.